Welcome back to the layout. So we're having our best go at building a Marklin layout. And while most of the Marklin ecosystem is top-notch, the turnout automation just isn't. So here's a quick tutorial on how to install ESU servos on Marklin switches. Here's the servo itself. It just comes in the box. And the first thing to do is find the right arm to install. This is the one that I prefer because it allows direct drive to the switch. So you just push it on there and then screw the screw into the arm and servo with a handy little screwdriver. Pretty straightforward. The key thing here is to snip off that top part of the arm because it's going to intersect with the table when we mount it underneath. Now, one of the key steps is to zero out the servo so that when you turn it on to calibrate it, once it's installed, it doesn't tear itself and the switch apart. And there's plenty of information on YouTube about how to do this step, but it's a key step of zeroing out the servo so that when you turn it on, it doesn't move. Then I go ahead and snip the wire so that it hooks into my setup. I'm probably at like a 7 out of 10 on the anal scale, so that works for me. Here's the connecting rod. It's important to bend it just right so that it can clip around the part of the K-track turnout, which you'll see here in a second. It's always a bit tedious, and fortunately this is a voiceover, so you don't hear my 4-letter words. But once that's complete, you can install the rod right into the arm. Now the tricky bit is it needs to go between the screw and the arm and then slide down right into place. You might have to loosen the screw a bit to give it enough clearance to get in there. Then you can adjust it, and what I'm showing here is how that servo will move underneath the table in order to throw the turnout once it's installed. Here's the turnout where I'm installing the servo. And what I'm doing here is just simply test fitting that bend in the rod fits the turnout and then running the action underneath the table to make sure it fits. Now this is a little bit more controversial. I used to screw the servos in, but I found out recently that super glue seems to do the trick. And until they all start falling off the bottom of the layout, I'm gonna stick with this. This is the view from underneath the layout. I'm just sticking the servo to the bottom of the layout and then making sure it still works. Once that's complete, I clip off the end of the rod and we're stoked. That servo is gonna work. Thanks so much for watching. Auf Wiedersehen.